Well, they still survive, but there aren't so many. A few water lilies do hang on, and it's possible that if the alien plants can be controlled, by yet another introduction perhaps, the blue haze will return. But for now, there's only one patch left like that. Meanwhile, the hyacinth pushed on, literally, driven by the wind, the sails, its leaves, and its floats combined to form a very effective great raft decorated with pretty flowers. It increases by stem, root, and seed, and can double itself in a couple of weeks. Not just a pretty flower, a potential monster. The geography of the lake is changed. As the wind shifts, so do the islands, growing as they go. And it's all down to a little plant that got into the lake a few years ago. And now to perhaps the biggest change of all. Plants that affect the lake, the land around it, and connect thousands of people here with millions of others right around the world. The original shoreline of African bush is now replaced by manicured soil and glass and plastic. Carefully protected and nurtured inside are millions of flowers, introductions from all over the world to be exported to all over the world. So what effect will these tame plants have on a place already battered by other introductions? Out there on the lake, that question is being asked. Here in the Rift Valley, a landscape of ancient volcanism, rich soils and limited fresh water, already ravaged by rampant water weeds from South America and crayfish from the USA, can Lake Naivasha take any more? And how much water can be taken from it? The river Malewa feeds the lake, but there are already plans to take more water for nearby towns. The lake seems to have no outlet, always a mystery. Fresh water is essential to the local people, not so much for growing the flowers they process for abroad, but for their own lives at home. Increasingly, this supply will become vital, and the rainfall that delivers it depends on a climate that we are changing with our lifestyles worldwide. Here at the Elsemeer Conservation Centre, left by the late Joy Adamson, famous for the born-free lions, there have been important studies going on for the future of everything in and around Lake Naivasha. Lily trotters still live here as they used to before the water fern, salvinia, and that triffid, the water hyacinth, took over their world.
This might be what's happening if this is just the only patch of lily.
David Harper from the University of Leicester has led teams here for some 20 years. And with that kind of dedication, it should be possible to work out what is happening here. The blacking out carpet of salvinia water fern, a legacy of the early 1960s, is a reminder of mistakes made in the past. But what about the future? The future for the people who depend on this lake and its water.
Yeah, it's not very healthy. It's probably quite.
It happens to be home to the largest number of waterbird species of any wetland in Kenya, like yellow-billed storks.
You got your book.
Today, a team from Earthwatch are surveying the lake at a place where the greenhouses and a house now flooded have been put too close to the current lake edge. But how can this vicious cycle be broken? Waterbirds may be displaced from the vital lake shore, and the team is studying the populations of storks, pelicans, cormorants, and their links with the fish populations. A critical indicator of the lake's health is the fish eagle. The lake has at times had the largest density in Africa, up to 100 pairs. Pesticides entering the lake might affect the food chain and kill off eagles or damage their breeding. Over the past 15 years, numbers have fallen by half, and by 1996-97 they'd stopped breeding completely. But it turned out that it was lack of food that was the problem. When the famous El Niño floods came, the waters rose by 3 meters, covering huge areas and providing lots of food for fish, and so for fish eagles and other fish eaters like cormorants and herons. The teams are very interested in developments around the lake. The vegetation is a key to good or bad behavior by the riparian owners, who formed an association of some 100 members. A result of all his research, from bugs to hippos, lily trotters to ibis, has seen the designation of Lake Naivasha as a Ramsar site. Named after a meeting at Ramsar in Iran in 1971, this convention is a major treaty trying to protect wetlands worldwide. But can it help here?
Yeah, it's not very healthy. It's probably quite squashed.
Deforestation, overgrazing, erosion, silt clouds the water. Fish eagles may find it difficult to spot their prey. Research continues to establish the depth of the problem.
It's around 98.
What lives down there? She takes a sample. Whatever it is, the fish may depend on it, and the fishermen, and many birds depend on those fish. And that connects with activities further away, like farming, burning, and the now famous flower growing. And that increasingly affects the lake. Now codes of practice are being put in place based on this research. It's in everyone's interest. Tourists won't come to the lake if hippos are driven away. The towns around won't be able to drink the water if it's choked with pesticides. And the flower companies would be doomed if the lake dried up.
Now you're going astray, girl. How long will it take you to change your ways? This crazy living night and day. So if you wanna go, you must go. And if you wanna stay, come my way. If you wanna go, you must go. And if you wanna stay, come my way. If you wanna go, you must go. And if you wanna stay, come my way. If you wanna go, you must go. And if you wanna stay, come my way.